All right, welcome. This is part 6 of the series where I break down the mindfulness expert Thich Nhat Hanh's talk that he gave to prisoners, and it was transcribed and turned into this book, Be Free Where You Are. Today we're going to talk about planning for the future and thinking about the past. I feel like this is a common thing that people encounter when they get into mindfulness and meditation is this idea of, do I just literally never think about the future? Like I'm just some present being that cannot think more than this moment ahead, cannot reflect. Let's see what Thich Nhat Hanh has to say. Mindfulness means to establish yourself in the present moment, but that does not mean you don't have the right to scrutinize and learn from the past or plan for the future. If you are really grounded in the present moment and the future becomes the object of your mindfulness, you can look deeply at the future to see what you can do in the present moment for such a future to become possible. We say that the best way of taking care of the future is to take care of the present, because the future is made of the present. Taking care of the present moment is one of the best things you can do to ensure a good future. And now, talking about the past, he says, when we bring past events to the present moment and make them the object of our mindfulness, it teaches us a lot. When we were part of those events, we could not see them as clearly as we do now. With the practice of mindfulness, we have new eyes, and we can learn many things from the past. So I think that's a pretty clear answer, but it's so interesting to talk about. And this is one of those things where when you're intellectually thinking about what it means to be present, you're not really getting the whole picture. The whole practice of mindfulness is about your experience of life. It's about what you are literally experiencing and not what you are imagining or hypothesizing. And so, what happens, let's say you have a thought about the future. When your mindfulness is weak, when you don't have yourself grounded in the moment, you get lost and you get basically trapped in these thoughts. You think about something you're worried about, like, oh, I need to make this money, or how am I going to do this, or how are these plans going to work out? And the mind just starts weaving these stories that you get lost in. And you don't even notice that you're lost until it's been minutes and minutes and you've created a whole worry fantasy. And now you feel stressed because your mind cannot distinguish between what the senses are giving you and what the mind is imagining. Either way, we emotionally react to it. However, when you're grounded in your mindfulness, when you're grounded in the present moment, you can see those thoughts of the future arise and you can say, oh, I see that there's fear here about the future. There's worry. Um, there's something I care about. And it doesn't mean that you just dismiss these worries, like Thich Nhat Hanh was talking about with the ideas that you have during meditation. Instead, you can look at them as these messengers, if you will, these messengers that have very important messages sometimes. Maybe they signal that you have some trauma around money. Maybe they signal that you have a literal thing that you really need to do. And your mind is saying, hey, like, let's address this. Let's look it in the eye. It's hard to say for sure without being in each moment and registering the sensations that you're feeling in your body. And sometimes we'll have legitimate concerns that are coming up that are legitimate, but our emotional response is way out of proportion. It's way higher than it really should be. So, yeah, with the ability to see into the future and plan, we have so much power as humans. But the key is you want to stay grounded in the present moment. That is your anchor, that is your center. And for the past, the same way. I mean, if you don't learn from the past, you are often doomed to repeat those mistakes. And if you don't remember the past, what would you do with all those amazing memories and experiences you've had? But I think a lot of times we can get lost in memories. I know that I can, where I'm just thinking of like these old memories that just trickle through your conscious experience, and you're like, oh, that thing, that thing, that thing. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, except for the opportunity cost that we face, which is there's this beautiful moment in front of us right here and now that we're missing out on if we're lost. Again, the key word is lost in these recollections. When you have a memory come up and you're rooted in the present moment, you can say, oh, what a beautiful thing that happened, or oh, this is something that I still haven't gotten over. This is something I should address. And you can stay where you are and have the choice of where your attention goes rather than being blown this way and that way. So yeah, I really hope these lessons and takeaways are inspiring you. I really appreciate your time, and make sure to like and subscribe so that I can get this message out to more people. Thank you for watching.